Hello, 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 dreamers. Perla here, as always. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. So let's jump right on in. Aries, Taurus, cusp. You need a reminder this week to make a practical plan for whatever it is that you're trying to tackle. Now, whether your new year resolution was about, getting in shape or getting your financials in order or creating like a new business opportunity or something like that, there is practicality here that is needed. Right, you have been, when it comes to the spiritual aspects of things, you have been listening to your intuition. You have been following the channeled messages and things like that that are coming through, either through your dreams or through visions, meditations, etc. But you're having a little harder time when it comes to putting something into order, into something practical, something tangible. So you know what it is that you want to do, right? So like, let's say you want to, you want your body to look a certain way, right? But you're almost kind of like bombarded or overwhelmed with all the information or something of that matter. So there needs to be this moment where you sit and you actually make a tangible plan, right? So going to the gym and working on every single muscle is not, every single day is not going to get you the physique that you want, right? So you're going to have to break it down. When are you going to do upper body? What does the upper body look like? Is it triceps and biceps, or triceps and chest and biceps and back, or whatever it is, right? When you're doing your lower body, what does that look like? Like, what days are you working your calves? What days are you working your thighs, your butt, etc.? So that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's something here where you need to put a, and I don't want to say like a realistic, I want to say a practical. And the reason why I'm saying practical is because it has to be something that you can manage, something that can be done consistently, right? So if your goal for this year resolution, let's say, were to lose 20 pounds, right? You're not going to go ahead and go on a crash diet, because you know once you're done with the crash diet, the weight is going to come back up. So maybe changing what you have for dinner for a couple of weeks, right? And then you change what you're having for lunch for a couple of weeks, and then you go ahead and you change what you eat for breakfast, right? And then by the third month or whatever, you have changed your entire diet, but you didn't do it drastically. So now what the results that you have are tangible. The results that you have are things that are actually going to last, right? So however it is that this energy plays out in your life, again, I need you to go back into the space of like, okay, how can I turn this vision, this goal, whatever it is for you, into something tangible, into something practical, where I can give a little of myself every single day to get to that end goal, to get to that end result, right? Be without becoming overwhelmed, without getting to a point where I feel like it's too much, without getting overstimulated, and without feeling drained at the end of the day. Okay. And again, your intuition and listening to your spirit, to your spirit guides, to those spirits that are around you that you connect with, is going to help you. Now, for some of you, you're going to have to get over like the stereotype that you have in your mind when it comes to doing practical things, right? So someone here in this energy is having an issue with doing something practical. You want everything to feel magical, you want everything to come just through like intuition. And and when you come to a point where you realize that your spirituality is not disconnected from your day-to-day life, life starts to change in itself, and you start to have a different perspective of how the two coincide, how the two are part of who you are, and one is not better than the other, and one does not rule over the other. Instead, they coexist together, right? So look at your practical life, the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, as nature, right? Nature in itself, like the grass is always growing, the flowers are growing and blooming, and they have their cycles that they go through, and so does your practical life. So I need you this week to really fall into the space where you start to connect your practical lifestyle, right? Or your 3D lifestyle, if that's what you want to call it, with your spirituality, and allow them to coexist, and allow them to have this beautiful dance and flow that is going to change your life. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card as your closing message, Aries, Taurus. What is the closing message? Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Again, so we're talking about this energy where some of you, again, have this dialogue about practicality. You have this dialogue of, whenever you're doing something structural, and I'm putting that in quotations, you feel like you're being trapped, or you're feeling like you're being pulled back, right? But in reality, you have to realize how it is that this structure whatever it is for fits into the now, fits into what it is that you're doing now, and fits into who it is that you are evolving into. So again, let's release any stereotypes that we have in regards to anything, any practical things that we do in our life, etc. Let's release any stereotypes that we have about our spirituality, that if you're spiritual you can't do this, you can't do that, and this and that. These are all patterns, these are all ancestral patterns from the past, things that no longer play a role in who it is that you are at this moment in time. Taurus, Gemini cusp, Taurus, Gemini cusp. You beware who it is that you decide to confide in. And I have to say it that way. You may be confiding, or you may have confided something that was very personal to you with someone that now is sharing it with the entire world. So be very aware of that energy. When it comes to personal things, whether it is a goal that you're trying to manifest, whether it's something that you are growing through at that moment in time, whether it is something that you're wishing for, maybe it's something that you're mourning or grieving, you have to realize that not everyone that you connect with is there as support. Some people are there just to see what they can get out of you, that then they can spread out. So that you can avoid, and let's put it this way, because I do very much see this turning into a huge confrontation, because again, something that you confided in someone is getting around, and I keep saying like it's getting around the office. So maybe you confide in a coworker, like how you're going to go ahead and report somebody, or you're going to report something, or you're uncomfortable with like a certain policy or something of that matter, but you didn't want it to get out until you actually acted on it. So now that you confided in somebody, now it's out. So going like trying to like get it into motion or something like that seems to create some kind of commotion, right? So like let's say if you're going to report your immediate supervisor for something, whatever it is, right? And you confide in a coworker and you're like, oh yeah, I'm submitting this tonight, da, 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 da. And they go ahead and they tell the supervisor. Now the supervisor, before you even go ahead and submit something, has already submitted something against you, right? So they're trying to put themselves ahead of the problem. So then that turns the entire situation into like a huge commotion, right? Because now when you go ahead and you submit, it looks like it looks like you're being petty, and it looks like it comes out as if you're trying to get back at your supervisor, when in reality that is not what it is. So again, be very mindful of who it is that you're confiding something in. Like if you are, if you're in the middle of a breakup or a divorce or something like that, do not divulge what your plans are or your attorney plans are. Like there's something here was, again, somebody confides, excuse me, in the wrong person, and by doing so you are in an essence causing things to not go your way. That's plain and simple the way that it's going. You're risking something going your way by confiding in the wrong person. So I really urge you this week that whatever it is, if you really feel like you need to tell somebody what your next step is going to be, write it down, burn it, scream it in the backyard if you have to, scream it into a bag, scream it into a book, but do it by yourself. Because again, who it is that there's somebody here within your space, guys, that very much pretends to be a friend, and I'm saying pretends to be a friend because up to this point you have suspicions about this person in the past, but you have never really have any concrete evidence that this is the person that usually spreads your business, because usually you tell at least like two or three other people. So I'm inviting you this week that whatever it is, whether this is a step forward into like a new business endeavor or a new hobby or a new relationship or finances, or again um something that has to do with work or court or whatever, please keep whatever your plans are to yourself during this week. That is basically the advice. Keep it to yourself, keep your plans to yourself. This is not the week, or this is not the kind of plan that you should be sharing with anyone anyways. Okay. I thought I had gotten two cards, but it was actually three, so I don't want to take more. I actually technically just want one. So just one card, Spirit, one card. I will take two if it's necessary, but otherwise, I just want one. We have the Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being and integration. Okay, so there has to be this space where you actually start to live for what it is that you've been asking for, right? So for a lot of you, this plan that you have, that you want to present, however it is, whether it's in court, whether it's in your personal life, you have to realize that with that comes an energetic upgrade, and that energetic upgrade for a lot of you guys is this space where you don't have, or you realize that you don't have to talk everything out with other people. There's a different frequency that you're going into, there's a different frequency that you are aligning to. And if you really want to immerse yourself within this space, listen to your intuition and listen to the guidance that is being given to you. Otherwise, and I hate to use the words miss this opportunity, but that's what it looks like. It looks like you're going to have to wait until this cycle ends and restart again in order for you to like pull yourself out of it. So I would advise you to take the advice, and whatever plans it is for this week, keep them to yourself. Gemini Cancer cusp. Gemini Cancer cusp. You are mm, you're telling off a group of people. Now, for a lot of you, this may be like through social media or something of that matter. Maybe this is at work or your family members, but I see you guys standing like you're the center of attention in whatever this space is, and you're telling someone off, or you're telling a group of people off, excuse me, is what I should say. For those of you that this is only one person that you're telling off, there is an audience to who it is that you're telling off. So somebody's watching you do this. Now, what I what I would invite you to do this week is, I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm asking you to ask yourself, are you doing it from a reactive point of view, or are you responding to something or that somebody said or did towards you? Okay. If you're responding, I'm all for it. I'll be there applauding you and everything. And if you are reacting, um, I'm going to be rooting for you, but in a different way. When we allow people outside of ourselves to get an instant reaction out of us, they, even if momentarily for that split second, have control over us, have control over our lives. Now, with that being said, it does not mean that you're not allowed to feel anger or disappointment or grief or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. It is the reaction of that feeling is what I'm talking about, right? So, like, if you're angry, you are allowed to feel angry, but you can still respond to someone, even if you're angry about a situation, even if you're angry about what they said, without reacting. When we react, and again, I am talking about like my own personal experience and what I've talked about with different people, with clients and things like that. When we react, it's almost kind of like this shock to our nervous system, where um there seems to be no grounding within ourselves, right? And and I feel that a lot of you guys have really worked hard into finding that balance within yourself, that center, that grounding space within yourself. And I would hate to see someone or a group of people that are completely irrelevant, and I'm going to say it that way because it is the truth, to even for a split second cause that reaction in your body. Okay, so whoever it is that you are going to, because I'm inviting you this week, guys, to respond to a situation, respond to it, because when you respond to something, you do it once and that is it. When you see people going over and over and over and over and over and over and over the same shit, is because they're most of the time they are reacting to a situation over and over and over. So every time they hear about it, every time that the name comes up or the situation comes up, their nervous system hasn't processed it correctly, so they get triggered, and therefore they're continuously what, reacting. So I'm inviting you, allow your nervous system to feel the anger, to feel the disappointment, whatever it is, and then allow spirit to guide you of how it is that you're going to respond, because as you are responding, you're healing whatever it is that is triggering the space as well. So let's go ahead. And as I'm saying that, a card came up. Um, for your closing message, we have the unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, past lives. So let's release this pattern that we have from our past lives that causes us to what? React. Okay, let's release that. Let's release it, baby. And let's move forward, and let's start learning how to live in that space where we are responding, where we are not reacting, right? Because whenever, again, you react, you, even for a split second, are giving control of yourself to someone else. And we're not about that, babe. Not here, not anymore, not ever again. All righty. Love that for you. Cancer, Leo, cusp. Mm-hmm. I'm on the I don't know. That's not even a song, guys, but that's the way that it's coming up. It's like I'm on the other side. Um, you're reaching a milestone this week where you feel like you are on the other side of something, whether this energy is in regards to your love life or your finances, your career. You feel like you have made it to the other side, whatever that side looks like for you, right? So for some of you, this is very much coming out of a relationship that may have made you feel hmm, like you were a prisoner, to be honest with you, because I keep on hearing the word confined, like you were confined into a character or a person that you didn't recognize, and you have finally like free yourself from this relationship, from this connection, and now you feel more like yourself. And so this other side for you guys, whether this is in your finances or relationship, it is very much, or even your career, this may be finally I don't see finally like launching a business. It's finally a business taking over where now you're making plans to leave like your current job within like the next 6 months is the figure that I'm picking up. But there is this sense of like liberation, this sense of freedom that is coming within this energy this week. This is very much the starting point of some type of separation, if you may say. And this separation again is coming in a form of liberation. So the separation doesn't seem or feel like hmm, it doesn't feel painful, it doesn't feel harsh, it doesn't feel ooh, okay. So the only thing that I'm picking up here that some people may portray, and I say may portray because you get to choose to see the energies however you want, as a negative, and I do them in quotations, is this energy of regret for not doing something sooner. And I need you not to sit in that space. Like when that energy comes through, like, oh, I should have, be like, you know what? Yeah, we should have, but we didn't know any better. So we're doing it now and it is okay, right? That's exactly how you're going to speak to that energy, because you're not going to allow that energy to pull you down, because it very much can try to keep you stuck in some type of loop of regret that we're not falling for. We're not falling for that, my love. All right, so let's go ahead. What is the closing message for Cancer, Leo, cusp when it comes to this liberation, this going to the other side of something? I really do like this energy. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So for a lot of you, again, it's just liberation. Some of you have been working towards this for a very long time. Like whether it is again your finances, your career, your love life. And I feel like you have been listening to that little voice, to that little sensation, whether this niggle is like this little niggle is like niggle. That's how you say it, niggle. Yeah, niggle is coming in through a space of like sensation or voice or seeing or whatever it is. Like you guys have been paying attention to it because you know that it's setting you is leading you to the space where you are free, is leading you to that freedom. And I want you to look, take a moment and look at that picture. You see the three aspects. One of them, her eyes is closed, her eyes is open. With the this one in the middle, how she's, it looks like she's looking down. I can't, and like I should be looking at the picture so I can tell you whether, but look at it. And I feel very much that this is a representation of when you guys honestly listen to your intuition and actually act upon it. Leo, Virgo, cusp. The new year for you started very good, not for so many people that are around you, is what I should say. You are, you're finally in a space, Leo, Virgo, cusp, where you are cutting people out of your life. And when I say that, is there are certain people in your life who you have given access to that should have never had access to you in the first place. There are certain people in your life that took advantage of the position, excuse me, that was given to them in your life, right? Or that you may have given them in your life. And this definitely, the energy that I'm picking up, and again, guys, these are collective energy, stems from this space where maybe growing up, as many people are taught, is not to be rude and to be nice and this and this and that. And even though something inside of you will urge you to be cautious against certain people, you you began at some point in your life, and I'm picking up probably between like the ages of 7 8 years old, to start silencing that that cautious voice, that intuitive nudging that was coming through, because it went against what you were being taught. And when this voice decided, or this nudging decided to reemerge in your adulthood life, there was no more silencing it, because every caution that it gave you against certain people was revealed like immediately. And there may have still been a few people that you may have connected with a few years ago, or people that are from your bloodline, right, like family related and things like that, that you still had this sensation about you, but you had not done anything in regards to it. And it very much feels like this week that is what you're doing. You're putting these, you're either setting very strict boundaries that you're not allowing yourself to cross, or you're cutting these people out for good this time around. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card as their closing message. Just one card. And like, there's like, I think I'm gonna have to go back to doing these readings individually at some point, so I can go deeper into each. But we'll see how that goes, how that unfolds. Um, the Great Gathering. It is all coming together. Intuitive hits and soul tribes. So again, you're learning to listen more to your intuition, and not just listen to it, but also follow the guidance that comes with it. You're no longer like ignoring it, because you know that the more that you follow your intuition, and you follow that nudge, that feeling from within, the closer that it brings you to your soul tribe, not just here in the 3D, but also in the spiritual realm. Virgo, Libra, cusp. What do we have, baby, here? Someone is putting you guys in a third party situation. Now, when we say that, it doesn't always necessarily have to be romantic, so please get off your high horse if that word triggers you. A third party situation can be anything, like where somebody's putting you between that, you and their work, you and their in-laws, you and another co-worker. Like, this doesn't even have to be a romantic partner. This can be a co-worker who's putting you and somebody else into some type of gossip, into some type of problem. For those of you that are in this space dealing with that, you are going to have to show up. And what I mean by that is, you're going to have to confront not just the person that puts you in the middle, but also the other person. And the best advice when you are in situations like that is you confront both of them at the same time, so that there is no back and forth. There is no so and so said this and so said that. There is just the truth coming through. There's transparency in what is being said, and this way you're able to tell who exactly started what, when, and where. That kind of energy. So for those of you that this may be, for some of you, this may be, I feel like your Virgo aspect of yourself is very much ready and rushed to do this. The Libra aspect of yourself may feel a little bit more intimidated within this space, but regardless of it, it's something that needs to be done. Again, you can do it like through a conference phone call, a video chat, or in person. Excuse me, I always prefer to do things in person. It's just better that way. But again, that is my doing, right? So I need you to follow your intuition when it comes to this, but I need you to actually follow through with this. Do not put this in the back burner, because this is something that, if you choose to put in the back burner, is going to come back and bite you in the ass later on. Meaning that, because first, for some of you, this third party situation is very much of a misunderstanding. Somebody may have misunderstood what you said, or somebody may have misunderstood certain directions, or yeah, directions that you gave on something. And again, it's starting to create this mess out of nothing. So that needs to be addressed. So if you are like in a supervisory type of position or something like that at work, or you're mediating something between friends or something of that matter, I need you to address this energy right away. We have align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? What is not in alignment with you guys is this energy of somebody trying to put you in the middle of a situation. That is not in alignment with you. That is a situation that needs to be addressed. This is a situation that needs to change, and it is something that you are going to have to address. This is not going to go away on its own. This is not going to disappear. This is something that is going to grow into something bigger if not addressed. Libra, Scorpio, cusp. Libra, Scorpio, cusp, you this week are are trying to manage it all, and I'll give you an applause for it, but I also need you to learn how to delegate. How to delegate, because when we try to do it all on our own, and there are things that are meant, okay, I need you to learn this, the discernment as to what it is that you're meant to do and what it is that you're meant to delegate, right? So I'm going to use a very simple example. I am a single mom, 4 kids between the ages of 15 and 20, 2 dogs, my babies, right? Everyone in this house has a role to play, right? And that role is not gender specific. What used to happen when my kids were younger was that I used to do it all. And I used to do it all even though I was trying to teach them how to do things. There were times where I would get frustrated because it wasn't done the way that I wanted, or it wasn't done in the timely manner that I wanted it done. So I would get up and do it. And as time went on, and I became more stressful and all of this, and everything started to happen with like the narcolepsy came up and all of this stuff, like things that have been there that I was unaware of, right? And again, if you don't know, I was diagnosed with narcolepsy with cataplexy, and I do have a page where I talk about it. But anyways, there is this space where I had to learn that I had to delegate things, right? And that meant like, this is your responsibility, this is your responsibility, this is your responsibility, this one's yours, and these are mine. And in order for us to function as as a household, and everybody, and what I mean by that, without neither of us feeling stressed out, without neither of us feeling like everything is on just one person, but we're also all working together to have a household flow in a way that it had never done before, right? And what happened when kids started to take over, because when we're talking about when they were younger, when they started taking over chores or certain things and they weren't done the way that I would do it, I would go in and be like, hey, how did you do this, right? Because I'm very much about like showing them how I do things and how I'm expecting things to be done and how I want it to be, how I wanted to, what I want the end results to be, right? And I would show them how I would do it. And sometimes it just didn't click for them. So then what I would do is I would again show them, and I'm like, okay, this is the end result. However that works for you, you do it. However it is, as long as this is the result, right? And even though there was still an expectation there was freedom for them to do it however it came naturally to them, right? And it wasn't about like, oh, it has to be done by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or it has to be done this and this and that. No, we set guidelines. We sat down as a family and we talked about, okay, this is what I need. Like for my mental status, I need my house to be a certain way, right? I need to not have clutter. I need to keep, the laundry needs to be kept up. The dishes in the sink cannot be there. Like there's certain things that I need in order to function as a human being, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? So we sat down and we talked about, okay, what are the time frames for this? Like how long can this go? How long can this not go? Et cetera, et cetera. And we all found a balance that worked for all of us, right? So like, I'm very much about being outside with the dogs at 6 o'clock in the morning, but that's me. Now, when that responsibility falls on days that is my oldest son, he doesn't do a 6 o'clock. He does in between, like 6 and 7:30 in the morning. Okay, so I need to back up because that is what works for him. 6 o'clock may be too early for him some days. 7 o'clock is the way that he does it. So it is about finding that balance that you are inviting to do this week. So start to delegate, but also have flexibility within the spaces that you are delegating into. As long as you get the end result that you want, it shouldn't really matter if the people that you are delegating something to is doing it exactly how you did it. Okay. And that is the take when it comes to this message. The star mother, how can you mother yourself? You're mothering yourself this week again by taking some time and realizing that you don't have to do it all, realizing that you can delegate certain things. And again, delegating things is not that you're not responsible for the outcome or whatever it is. It is not that you don't care. It is just, and again, I'm going to use the example of my kids. My kids are, I have one that is 20 already. So he's a young adult, and I am raising kids. And the way that I look at it is like, I'm not really raising kids. I'm raising adults that are going to be functional into society. Right. So yes, everybody here has to learn how to clean, has to learn how to cook, has to learn how to take out the dogs, has to learn how to take out the trash, has to learn how to do everything, because it is not a gender role thing when it comes to this household. So if this is at work, like, in the future, I'm assuming if you're going to retire, etc., those that are working under you during this time, are one of them is going to end up with your position. And how are they going to do it if they're not learning how to do the work? Okay, that's the way that I want you to look at things and really give yourself that grace this week. Scorpio, Sagittarius, cusp. Um, Scorpio, Sagittarius, cusp. You. Ooh, wait, because this is a little confusing. Are you okay? There's two very distinct messages here. For for those of you that are females, they're showing me someone's ovaries, like your ovary, your uterus, reproductive system. There was something within that space that and again, this is going to be for a very small group of you. Maybe you were told at some point in your life like that it was going to be very difficult for you to conceive, or carry a pregnancy to term if you were to conceive. And there has been some either spiritual work that you have been doing that has been clearing some type of ancestral work, and you're going to either be conceiving this week or you're going to be finding out that you have conceived. And congratulations for that, because for whoever this message is for specifically, you have been really you have been doing like you have been doing the work in order to have this come forth. And what I mean by that is like you've been doing like the spiritual work that had some type of blockage within that space for you. Now, for those of you that this has nothing to do with pregnancy or anything like that, there is a sense of like watching something or watching someone. Um, there is the sense of if you're looking at an ex's page or you're looking at an ex's new partner's page or something like that, I need you to pull yourself out of that energy. And I get it. You may not be over this person yet. You may still be grieving the ending of a relationship or whatever, but I need you to pull at least out of that energy, out of that destructive energy, because you're not going to find anything that is going to bring you any peace or anything like that. Now, for those of you that I'm saying that the person that you're looking into like their page or something of that matter, they, and if this is not you, this may be reversed or whatever it is. You place it how it is. We're talking about the energy that I'm picking up. This person may have cheated on you with a new person that they're with, and you're under the illusion that if you can confirm that they cheated on you with this person or that they were seeing this person at the same time that they were with you, somehow you're going to let go of this, or somehow you're going to like they're going to be ripped out of your heart. I'm gonna tell you a little truth here. That is a lie. That's not going to happen. You're still going to have to go through the grieving process. So for those of you that are trying to avoid going through a grieving process of an ex, looking at their page, looking at their social media is not going to help you. It is not going to help you. The only thing that is going to help you is accepting the feelings that are there, accepting and acknowledging the pain that is there, and allowing yourself to go into that space and heal it. Now, for different people, that is going to look in different ways. Some people have to remind themselves of how somebody did them wrong in order to get to a baseline. Other people have to go through the crying, through the this, through the that. Again, we all grieve and we all get over things in different ways, right? But addressing it is what matters. Allow yourself to address it and to grieve it, and however that is going to look for you at this moment in time. But what you have been doing, like checking someone's page or something like that, is not working, and it's not going to work, babe. That chapter, that person is part of your past, and you should leave that there and really focus on healing so that you can be ready for the next person that is already on their way to you. All right. So, what is the closing message for Scorpio, Sagittarius? Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. So, I need you to focus on the guidance that the spirit is trying to give you. Um, there is a sense here that spirit has been trying to show you who this individual is and has always been. And a lot of you were under the, again, we're going to call it an illusion that you were going to change someone, or that you were going to help this person evolve, etc., etc., and you need to let go of that illusion. I need you to go back into the space that you're listening to spirit, and in a way of how it is the spirit wants to help you and wants to guide you. Going on social media, and if you're jumping from reader to reader till you find the reading that you want to resonate with you, is not the answer. You need somebody to tell you the truth of a situation so that you can wake up from the illusion that you have created around this person. This person that you are still looking into and etc. is not your person. They were the person that came into your life to teach you certain lessons. What were those lessons? To learn to put yourself first, to learn to keep your word to yourself, and to learn to love yourself no matter what and above it all. Okay? Love you. Sagittarius, Capricorn, cusp. You are very much silently receiving is what I'm picking up. You're in this state of receiving but not sharing. Um, I love that energy. Now let me stop. I love that energy. I'm not even gonna lie. And yes, I am 100% Capricorn. I have a lot of Capricorn placements, but let's put it this way: just because you receive doesn't necessarily mean that you need to share. And I'm not just talking about your finances, etc., etc. There has come this point in your life, Sagittarius, Capricorn, where you've learned the discernment of what it is that needs to be shared and what it is that needs to be kept private or need to be kept to yourself. So during this time, you're very much receiving and you're making a lot of quiet moves. There is this sense of for some of you, you're looking into property or you're looking into land. You're wanting to make a move during the beginning of spring, which is what a lot of people call like the New Year's, right? When everything starts to blossom, everything starts to come into life again. And there's something very significant about that springtime, when things like that April, like the beginning of April, like that first week of April or something, where you want to bring something into, like, I feel very much whatever it is that you are receiving during this time, you're going to be sharing during the spring. You're going to be sharing during the first or second week of April. Whether, again, it might be like a subtle post of, like, you standing in front of a like land, or you standing in front of a house, or you standing in front of something that you have purchased, but you're not verbally posting like, oh, my new house or my new land. You're just posting a picture and you're like, this is how I choose to share. Who gets it, who doesn't don't. And it's almost kind of like this space of just allowing yourself to receive and not necessarily share either what it is that you're receiving, or even sharing that you receive something. There's something about sitting within this energy and this space for a while before something gets shared with the public. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card for Sagittarius, Capricorn, cusp. We have answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? And I feel that you guys are very much, sorry, this is my dogs. That's how I get their attention when I'm doing readings. There's very much this, you listening to the soul, listening to your soul. Zena, no, lay down. Give me a second, guys. Lay down. Thank you. You're very much listening, right? And as I'm interacting with Zena, I'm looking at it where some of you are like, but Spirit, can I just share with like my mother? Can I share with my sister? No, no. Like a couple of times, even though I went, she still wanted to go into her scratching mode, and I'm like I said no. And I said no, and then it wasn't until I stared at her, like I looked her straight in the eye, and she's a Belgian Malinois, a full bred, and I looked at her and I said no, and she listened. And for a lot of you, there may be this quick moment of wanting to share something with somebody really quick, like just one person, and no, listen to that voice, okay? Don't share it. Okay. Capricorn, Aquarius, cusp. What do we have for you guys this week? Um, oh no, we're not doing this. Like, it's the new year. I'm gonna put some chapstick on here because I do not want to deal with this. So some of your past is coming in with like the most pathetic, and I'm gonna say it like that because that's the way it's coming up, pathetic apology in the world. And the reason why I say that is because they are in essence trying to blame you for their bad behavior. Well, because you didn't do this, I did this, and because you didn't do this, I did that. And you're just like, so continue to do that because I am doing this. Woo. Okay, I'm back, guys. I'm serious. This is why I said, we ain't doing it. And I had to put some chapstick on because I use my little beautiful middle finger whenever I put my chapstick on. And it's this sense of like, how you're laughing at this point because you can't even get angry at this person trying to have some type of game when it comes to them apologizing, but at the same time, every other word that they're saying, they're blaming you for something. Baby, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Go right back the same way that you came. Because honestly, like and I very much feel like you are in this space where you're past this person gaslighting you, you're past this person's manipulation, but this person is still under the illusion that they have some type of control, some type of hold over you. And it's like, oh shoot, are you serious? Like, you're still there, babe? No, 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 no. We have the warrior woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? and and the reason it's so interesting that this comes up with somebody when they're trying to apologize. I feel that whenever you get to a space where you're following your intuition, when you are like when momentum is coming through with whatever it is that you're doing, this person seems to circle around. This person was this person's role in your life, and I want to say was because that's what it was, because I feel like a lot of you have recognized this, was nothing more than a distraction from stopping you from fulfilling a purpose, or distraction from trying to stop you to fulfill something. And a lot of you have realized that that is this person's role in your life, right? We all play different roles in different people's life, right? And I've talked about this, like in some people's life I'm the villain, in some people's life like, you know, the worst of the worst, and etc etc, and that, and I am okay with that, because that is the way that they perceive me, or that is the role that I was meant to play in their life, you know, whether it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 5 years ago, etc, right? So when you finally accept someone's role in your life, then you're able, like, the battle has changed and you have already won the war, right? Because you're no longer engaging in that space, you're no longer engaging with that person the same way that you used to. Oh, yeah, yeah. Aquarius, Pisces, CUSP. All I kept hearing was ay ay ay. So you're you took a stand, or you're taking a stand against either someone or something that it has authority, and there are witnesses to this. And the I, like like, you know, ooh, that person is in trouble, or that is in trouble, whatever it is. It's not towards you, it's towards this authority figure. Whether this authority figure is at work, for some of you, this authority figure is somebody within a congregation. Like, so like you may you know, this may be somebody like at your church or something of that matter, where you're calling somebody out for their hypocrisy, you're calling somebody out for a BS type of behavior. If this is at work, again, you're calling out your boss, you're calling, but it's like, regardless of how you're doing it, you're doing it publicly. Like, there's witnesses to this, so there's not going to be any turnaround and like, oh well, this is what Aquarius Pisces said. No, because there's witnesses to this. That is not what I said. That is what you want to say that I said. And it's kind of like this energy again of you're standing up and you're speaking up for like the little people, you're speaking up for those that do not have a voice within a certain space. And again, it is this space of the witnessing that is really calling to me, because within that space is like, I don't know, there's something there that is born. There's something born within this space of like somebody like, I don't know if I can't talk on what I can't see clearly. Let's put it this way. There's something that is going to be born out of this space, and it is connected to somebody that is witnessing you stand up to this authority figure. Now, whether somebody approaches you, and this is what I'm going to say, whether somebody approaches you about like starting either like a podcast or starting a movement or starting something of that matter, there's something big that is being born out of this interaction of you standing up to some type of authority. And there's somebody within the witness space that comes with you with some type of proposition about creating something or some type of space. That is as much as I can see. When it comes to a collective reading for everyone, is going to be, again, these are collective readings, so that is the way that it's being shown to me at this moment. All right, so what do we have as the closing message for Aquarius Pisces? Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Again, there's something deeper here that somebody notices. So you standing up to this authority figure is not just about this reality. It has something to do, there is a connection, a collaboration, something um with the spiritual world, the spiritual plane, however it is that you want to call it, that again, the initiation of standing up to an authority figure, we might reveal what like this double mission is. Like, what is the spiritual aspect behind it that allows something to be created or to be born? I'm interested to see what that is. So definitely, comment and make sure you comment on the video, because I'm definitely interested to see how this is going to turn out for you, Aquarius, Pisces. Pisces, Aries, cusp. Pisces, Aries, cusp. You're out here living your best life. I'm sorry. I don't care. There may be a group of people or somebody that is trying to tell you like you need something or you need this or you need that, and you're just like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm having a blast all over here all by myself. Whether you're by yourself or you have like a significant other or something like that, like there has been, or there was, is what I should say, pressure from like either family members or society that you either had to be married or have kids or have some type of lifestyle at this point in your life, and you're just like, but nah, like everything is growing, everything is going the way that I want it to go, everything is flowing, everything is like, you're just vibing is the energy that I'm picking up. So like if you're in a committed relationship, maybe you and your significant other decided that you don't want to have kids. Like, this is the lifestyle that you chose, right? And there's nothing wrong with it. And it's like, it's not necessarily what I see that you're liberating yourself from is the moments that you gave it thought, right? The moments that you spent and thinking about what your family was thinking or what society was thinking. Like, you have known that this was the lifestyle that you wanted for your life for a very long time, but you're finally okay with accepting that not everyone is going to like that, and that people are going to have their opinion in regards to it, and they can have their opinion about it, but it ends at that, right? You're not allowing anyone to try to coerce you or to guilt you or to try to manipulate you or anything like that as to how it is that you should be living your life, right? So you're finally in this balanced place that allows you to finally really enjoy the lifestyle that you've chosen for yourself, and I really 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 love that for you. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card for your closing message. We're taking the one card that first came out, which is the boundaries card. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? And I feel that this is exactly what you're doing. You see like how all the hands are reaching towards her, and you see like this little it's not really a crown, it looks like it's a crown, but it's really not, but it looks like a crown, right? It is like a symbolism of a crown, I should say. But there is a sense that whatever was bothering you, like whatever thoughts were intruding, were creating this doubt or trying to create this doubt around your lifestyle, you have managed to get into that space and reprogram the lies that you were told, reprogram the things that your parents had taught you, that in order to have a fulfilling life you had to have A, B, C, and D. And instead you're choosing to like really listen to what it is that you want to do. That is all that I have. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.